Not sure if we have a quorum? Okay, great. Didn't know who was here online, so I apologize for my tardiness. I was down in Commissioner McGee's neck of the woods, racing back up here to make sure I got here in time, so. Looks like I'm filling in today as the chair for now. Okay, great. Okay, so we're here. Let's take a moment and recognize our flag and the Pledge of Allegiance. And I ask Mr. McGee to help me out.
As we salute our flag, let's remember the brave men and women that made this country free for us to do this. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, General Counsel, do we have a closed session today?
No, we do not have any closed session matters.
Okay, great. So we're going to go right to our special calendar, which is election of the new State Route 91 Advisory Chair. I'd like to entertain nominations from for the Advisory Committee Chair. Wow, it's a cacophony of.
Who's vice chair?
I'm the vice chair.
Well, then I nominate you for second.
I was like, man, I must have did something wrong. Sitting here in complete silence. I love it. Okay, so I have a motion. Do I have a second? Thank you, sir.
Close the nomination.
Close the nomination and then hold the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay. Any opposed? Great. Look at that. Perfect. See, I gave you guys a chance, so you're in trouble now. Okay, election of the, I'd like to entertain nominations for the State Route 91 Advisory Committee Chair. Vice Chair. Accept nominations.
I would like to nominate Fred Young.
Okay. All right, so we have a nomination. Can all in favor say aye?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, there we go. Great. Welcome. Okay, on to the consent calendar. All matters in the consent calendar, items 3 through 6, are to be approved in one motion unless a committee member or member of the public wishes to poll an item for discussion or comment. Do I have any requests from the committee? Seeing none. Madam Clerk, are there any requests from the public?
There are none.
Great. Do I have a motion?
Move consent.
Second.
Okay. Madam Clerk, could you please call roll?
Chair Speak,
Aye.
Vice Chair Young,
Abstain on 3. Aye on that.
Member Aitken,
Yes.
Bergson,
Yes.
Member McGee,
Aye.
Member Spiegel,
Yes.
Member Wagner, Member Tettimer.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay. On to item number 8, 91 Express Lanes update. Anthony Rodriguez, Program Manager, OCTA, and Silva Mardrusian. I'm sorry, total guess.
Mr. Chair, we skipped item number 7.
Oh, 7. Shoot. I'm sorry. The most important one. Item number 7, Draft 2024 State Route 91 Implementation Plan. Amy Allison, Principal Transportation Analyst for OCTA, will provide a PowerPoint presentation.
Good morning, Chair Speak and committee members. My name is Allison Army with OCTA's Planning Division, and today I'll be providing an overview of the draft 2024 State Route 91 Implementation Plan. The implementation plan became a requirement in 2002 with Assembly Bill 1010, and subsequently in 2008, Senate Bill 1316 enabled RCTC to extend the express lanes into Riverside County, and it also extended the western study limit from State Route 55 to State Route 57 in Orange County. The implementation plan is updated annually by OCTA and RCTC to provide a status of projects within the 91 corridor. This is done in collaboration with Caltrans Districts 8 and 12, TCA, and the corridor cities. Since the first implementation plan in 2003, 13 planned projects have been completed, including improvements to rail, transit, and highway. The 13 projects represent over $2 billion of investment between the two counties. The successful completion of projects has resulted in the addition of about 77 lane miles, which has led to improved traffic flow throughout the corridor. The improvements within the corridor have helped in alleviating the effects of population growth and have facilitated connectivity between Orange and Riverside counties by enhancing capacity and improving mobility. The projects in the plan are organized into 3 groups: Orange County projects, Riverside County projects, and bi-county projects. The Orange County projects include OCTA's Measure M2 project between State Route 57 and just east of State Route 55, which is currently in the final design phase. Also included are 2 Metrolink-related projects with the Metrolink Placentia Metrolink Station and Metrolink service improvements. Riverside County projects include the Santa Ana River Trail, the SR 71, SR 91 interchange improvement project, which is currently under construction, and improvements east of I-15. The 3 bi-county projects that benefit both Orange and Riverside counties are TCA's 241-91 Tolled Express Connector, which is wrapping up final design, and RCTC is sponsoring the 91 Eastbound Corridor Operations Project, or the 91 ECOP, between SR 241 and SR 71, as well as westbound improvements in the same vicinity. We have 2 new concepts that were added to the plan this year. They include the Green River Road Bike Lane Gap Closure and the North Main Transit Connector. And RCTC is working with the City of Corona and Caltrans District 8 on these multimodal concepts. To address project sequencing, OCTA, RCTC, Caltrans, and TCA came to consensus for projects to be implemented in the order shown here. The agencies reached that consensus while taking into consideration operations, traffic dynamics, project readiness, and construction and community impacts. We're seeing this sequence fall into place with the 1591 Express Lanes connector opening to traffic this past November, and we'll see the full benefit of this project as future implementation plans are updated. The recommendation today is to receive and file the plan as an informational item. As I mentioned, the implementation plan is updated annually, so OCTA staff will work in coordination with RCTC in anticipation of next year's implementation plan update. That concludes my presentation. Happy to answer questions.
Thank you. Any questions from my colleagues? I see none. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very excited to see the progress. Okay, now on item 8, Redux. Anthony Rodriguez, Program Manager for OCTA, and Silva Madruzian, Toll Customer Service Manager, RCTC, will provide a PowerPoint for this update.
Good morning, Chairman Speak and members of the committee. I am Anthony Rodriguez, Project Manager in OCTA's Express Lanes Department. Today I'm joined by Silva Madruzian, and she is RCTC's Customer Service Manager. We will be providing an update on the 91 Express Lanes. I'll start with the first half of the presentation, and then Silva will cover the second half. Since the committee last met in November, there have been several updates. An area to highlight for both OCTA and RCTC is that they have continued to see increased demand from travelers in both segments. The increased demand has resulted in both agencies seeing higher traffic volumes and potential toll revenue as compared to prior years. We will go into further detail in the upcoming slides. OCTA and RCTC have also been working to replace damaged and faded express lane signs along the 91 corridor. The new signs are being installed by Caltrans District 8 and District 12 with coordination with agency staff. Express lane sign replacement for the 91 corridor is expected to be completed in the coming months. At the last committee, we mentioned that the opening of the new express lanes connector from the 91 express lanes to the 15 express lanes in Riverside County. The new express lanes connector opened to the public on November 21st, 2023, and the new connector allows travelers to directly connect from the 91 eastbound express lanes to the 15 northbound express lanes. The new connector allows, since the connector's opening through the end of April, it has seen increased traffic volumes every month. The new connector from the 91 eastbound to the 15 northbound has seen traffic volumes of 537,634, while the connector from the 15 southbound to the 91 westbound has seen traffic volumes of 654,534. The next slide displays traffic volumes for the first 10 months of the current fiscal year with the volumes of the prior year during the same time period, with OCTA data on the left side and RCTC data on the right. The blue line representing the 2023 fiscal year volumes and the black line representing the 2024 fiscal year volumes. The yellow boxes on the slide provide the year-to-date traffic volumes through April 30th for the previous and current fiscal years for both OCTA and RCTC. OCTA has traffic volumes of over 17.4 million, which is a 7.7% increase from the prior year's volumes of 16.1 million, while RCTC has traffic volumes of over 15.4 million, which is a 13.2% increase from the prior year's volumes of 13.6 million. Similarly, in the next slide, displays the potential toll revenue for the first 10 months of the current fiscal year, with the toll revenue of the prior year during the same time period. Again, with OCTA data on the left side, RCTC data on the right, and the black line representing FY24 data, and the blue line representing FY23 potential toll revenue. The yellow boxes on the slide provide the year-to-date toll revenue through April 30th for the previous and current fiscal years for both OCTA and RCTC. OCTA has potential toll revenues of over 55.1 million, which is a 7.6% increase from prior year toll revenues of 51.2 million. RCTC has potential toll revenues of over 74.4 million, which is a 34.6% increase from the prior year's toll revenue of 55.2 million. The prior slides displayed the higher traffic volumes and potential toll revenue as seen in the current fiscal year. This next slide will compare the projected traffic volumes for OCTA and RCTC for the current fiscal year with the actuals of the past 6 fiscal years. The projected traffic volumes for the FY24 are annualized based on the 10 months of actual data that we have seen. With OCTA data on the left side and RCTC data on the right, current projections for traffic volumes have 20.9 million for OCTA and 18.5 million for RCTC. That would be a 5.9% and an 11.2% increase respectively. Both agencies are projecting higher traffic volumes for fiscal year 24 than any of the past 6 years. The next slide will compare the projected potential toll revenues for OCTA and RCTC for the current fiscal year and the actuals for the past 6 fiscal years. Similar to the prior slide, the projected toll revenues for fiscal year 24 are annualized based on the current 10 months of actual data. With OCTA data on the left and RCTC data on the right, current projections have toll revenues exceeding 66.2 million for OCTA and 89.2 million for RCTC. That would be a 6.2% and 31.6% increase respectively. Both projections display an increased demand for travelers from both express lane segments. At this time, I'll transition the presentation for Silva to cover the second half. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Both RCT staff and both OCTA and RCTC staff have been busy implementing changes to a legislation for the Teen Bill. I'm happy to announce that starting Monday, July 1st, 91 Express Lanes account holders as well as violators will be able to walk into various retail stores nationwide, such as 7-Eleven, CVS, Walmart, Walgreens, and they'll be able to pay a violation or they'll be able to replenish their account through Pay Near Me service. It's a cash service that's nationwide they'll be able to scan a QR code on our notices and be able to pay at these certain locations. This was a requirement that we had to meet through the team bill, and I'm glad that we're meeting it, as well as other improvements to payment plans, administrative hearing. We've made various updates to our website. For example, we were required to add information about rental vehicles. Customers will actually after tonight, they'll be able to go to our website and get information about how to add rental vehicles to their account. They'll be able to know if they're not an account holder, what they need to do. So there's various information that we were able to add on there. In terms of dynamic pricing, RCTC is monitoring the traffic flow and patterns to make sure that prices are reactive to the traffic demand. We want to make sure our toll rates are based on real-time traffic conditions that are based on congestion on the 91 express lanes. Our call center has been busy assisting customers. As we see an increase in traffic, notifications, and customer accounts, we definitely see a fluctuation in our calls. On average, our customer service reps answer about 24,000 calls a month. Those vary anywhere from customers who want to pay violations or account holders that want to make an update to their account, their license plate, credit card. It varies. Overall, our customer service reps are doing great. We have an after-call survey that the customers have the option to participate in. Our CSRs are based on how knowledgeable and courteous they are. It's based on if the first call resolution was the customer assisted the first time they contacted us. On average, our customer service reps are getting a score of 4.87 out of 5. So I'm glad to report that this is a KPI the contractor is meeting month after month. Both agencies are always working with the contractor to find ways to improve performance and the customer experience. We want to make sure that customers do not wait long when they are over the phone. And some of the ways we have improved our call wait times is we added a callback feature so that if the wait time is over 10 minutes, the customer has to decide if they want to wait. If not, they can get a call back and they'll be able to stay in a queue. When it's their turn, rather than waiting on hold, the customer service rep gives them a call back. So that's a feature that we added. Another feature that we added is, we give them an estimated wait time. My apologies. We let them know that they're on hold for either 5 minutes or 4 minutes. That way they can determine if they want to wait, go to the website, or call us at a different time. So we added that feature as well. Finally, training. Training is such an important component when it comes to call centers, because it helps with the customer service, the information that they're giving. We want to make sure that they're tending to the customer needs the first time they're contacting us. So that's something that we're always working with our contractor to improve. Here's a sample of the contractor's performance measure for April. Overall, they did great. Some of the items that we are working with them on is the way they're answering the call wait times. The call wait times, again, has to do with when the customer is placed on hold after they're in the queue of the IVR. It depends on how long they are on hold until the customer service reps pick up the phone. So that's something that we're working with a contractor to improve. Again, training is an important component, because if the CSRs are trained properly, then they'll be able to assist the customer without any issues, and they'll be able to take care of the customer needs. So we're always pushing our contractor to do online training, to use online tools, role play, refresher training. So that's a really, really important component for our call center. In terms of payment processing, mail processing, they're doing wonderful when it comes to that. So majority of their KPIs are 100%. Looking ahead, so one of the things that both agencies have been working on is fasttrack.org. So this is a tool, it's a website. It was one of the requirements for the team bill. And basically, both agencies worked with TCA to update this website, which is a hub for all operators in California. There's information about all the toll lanes, the bridges, the express lanes that are in California, the operators. We have information about the different transponders that are out there, discounts. So it's a hub of information that we hope our customers will be using in the future. Another item is the replacement of the TOC wall. We are in procurement. We are in design phase. We hope to complete construction in fall. Right now, we are working on the system design. We're working on the actual video wall, and we're making sure that the software network is up to date. And finally, the cost of living. On July 1st, OCTA's toll rates will be adjusted by 3% to account for the annual inflation adjustment. The rates will vary anywhere from $1.90 to $9.10. I can answer any questions you may have.
Do I have any questions from my colleagues?
Just what happened in March?
Yeah,
You
but-
see this huge spike at the call center in March.
So it depends. We had FTB letters that went out, Franchise Tax Board. So when those letters go out, there's a spike in phone calls because it's letting customers know that we're going to be taking their balance from their taxes. And
That
so
would prompt
that's
a
why we
few
had an
calls.
increase. So anytime we see an increase in fluctuation in calls, usually it's because of notices or something that goes out to alert customers to contact us. Yeah.
Great. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. Oh, go ahead. Your microphone's right there if you'd like to. Yeah.
I had a question about the payment system. So you're saying when we send out bills, letting people know that they have a balance due, there's a QR code that takes them to the ability to then go to a physical location?
Correct.
So is there a way that we can implement just a QR code on the statement where they can just
That's
pay?
phase two. That's phase two. So in phase two, we'll be adding debit and credit card. So the first phase was to only accept cash. So they'll be able to walk in and make a cash payment. But in the second phase, we'll be adding credit and debit. So with the QR code, they'll be able to scan it. They'll be able to either make it through their mobile phone or they can take that barcode to a 7-Eleven or CVS, whatever they're comfortable with, and make a payment with credit or debit there.
Tell me about this cash. Haven't seen it in years.
It's for the unbanked. So if somebody doesn't have a credit or debit, this is a good option for them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm excited to see how that
Yes,
turns out.
so
I
are
think
we.
that'll be very helpful.
Hopefully, next time around, we'll be able to give measures of how Pay Near Me is doing.
Thank you, Vice Chair.
Thank you for the presentation. Without the pandemic putting its finger on the scale, I was a little concerned about the traffic volume. I suppose I can attribute it to the incredible growth of the Inland Empire, but are we concerned as an agency about the year-over-year traffic volume increase? It's pretty impressive. That it'll get to a point where we can't consistently manage that for the public and for those that are on the freeway or the expressway? No?
So what you're referring to is the express lanes getting to capacity,
Yes.
which is something on the Riverside end we've experienced. We've
Right.
experienced it in the afternoons in the eastbound direction, which was cured by the addition of a lane. So we no longer have that backup. We now have a backup going westbound with people trying to get in the morning. And once they get in, they're moving pretty well, but getting in is a backup. So
How do we curb that? We've got, in the Riverside portion, there's $90 million in revenue. It's an impressive increase.
yeah, we use the tools we have. First, we look for physical improvement opportunities, to increase capacity, but there's only so much we can do there. Then we look at our toll rates, and toll rates get high. Our toll rate in the westbound is as high as $23 in the morning. Eastbound, it used to be $28. It's now $9 after our improvement. So those are we, RCTC's in the process of implementing an OCTA detection system to get carpoolers people that say they're carpooling that aren't out so that they can either be influenced by price or decide not to use the express lane. But there's really not an alternate route for them on the 91. We get them out of the express lanes. There's nowhere else for them to really go. And that's the challenge of this operation. You have anything to add?
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Similar question to Mr. Young. I see the increase, the 13% increase in the numbers, but I'm trying to rationalize the 34% increase in revenue. And is that have anything to do with the move to dynamic pricing? Because I think one of the ideas behind dynamic pricing was it was supposed to lower the toll in some ways, but it seems like it's done the opposite.
Yeah, on the Riverside end, post-pandemic, our peak volumes used to be concentrated to a couple hours. Now it's spread out over 5 or 6 hours. So we have these high traffic volumes over longer periods of time, which have caused a higher toll rate for longer periods of time. But the dynamic pricing has brought down the toll in many hours that it was higher in before. So we continue to evaluate it, but I would not contribute the increase in revenue to the dynamic pricing. It would probably be a reduction in revenue.
Okay. Yeah, I was just trying to equate, I mean, I know it's not a one-for-one, the 13% increase, but that 34 really stood out, really stood out to me. The other item, and I've brought it up in the past about folks knowing what they're buying. I introduced it, I don't know in this room, but in other rooms about, kind of truth in tolling, what people are purchasing, how much time they're buying. And there really is no way to check, except for, someone makes that decision at the moment, they're, on the 55 or they're on the 91 or the 15, trying to figure out how to get to work or get home, and they have to make a decision. Is this worth $23 for me to get to the left and get in the lane? The problem is they have no idea what they're buying. In fact, if you ask most people and look around, ask your neighbor what the pricing of the tolls are based on, they will tell you, oh, the general purpose lanes the lanes look really busy. The price is really high. That means the general purpose lanes are really packed, but they have nothing to do with each other. We all know that, but the general public has no idea. And so I really think there should be some way to look at this to see if we can actually give people an idea of what they're buying, because I think that will also influence the use of the tolls too, because if they're $23 and you're going to save 10 minutes, people are going to weigh that. You can save, 20 minutes, maybe they'll do it. $1 a minute, sure, why not? But I think people should be able to make that choice other than the emotional pull. And I've explained this before in the past is, if someone that you haven't eaten in a week and someone gives you $20 and they say, hey, I got a 50-cent sandwich and a $5 sandwich, which one do you want? Well, I'm really hungry, I'm gonna get a $5 sandwich, but they have no idea what the sandwiches look like. They're gonna cough over more money because they think there's an implied value to it without providing that. So I know it's a conversation that we've had in the past. I know there's some technological and legal issues that come with that, but I do think that there needs to be a discussion in the future at some point about how because I think frankly, looking at the sheer, the increase, people are still moving east because homes are cheaper, but they still have to get to their jobs. But I seeing that disparage, that really brings it out to me. So thank you.
Chairman
Yeah,
speak?
oh, I'm sorry. Supervisor Spiegel.
A couple of different things. One is in response to that, we had talked years ago when we first were getting the 91 aspect, the same conversation we had this board, I don't know which location we were at, but we were talking about the possibility of having the time of travel on the billboards, and we've got those. But we may want to put them near the location of, do I get in the express lanes or not? People think we're trying to highway robbery them, literally. And if we are giving them an opportunity with that more information, which we have the capability, I think that it would behoove us to take that next step, because trust is a big deal, and we need to get that trust back. And with the dynamic pricing, the unknown from day to day, some of them are having that challenge in the Riverside County side. That seems to be the biggest flux. We have that problem, anybody who's an elected up here understands, is that we have to build. If we choose to have vacant land, we now have tools in Sacramento that will just build it without our permission. And we have that in Corona, right?
Yes, absolutely. Don't have a choice.
Yeah. So, and then one more thing on is it just me? Somehow my credit card gets charged as soon as I drop below $50. So I never have a choice. So it's just kind of, years it's been that way. Did I sign up for that or something?
We can always change your threshold. I'll contact you and we can change
Oh,
your
no, it
threshold.
changes.
It
Depending
depends
how-
on your use. So it
Yes.
depends on the monthly average use, but we can always decrease the
Oh,
threshold.
yeah, we were up at a couple hundred for a while. I have so many drivers on my, when you have 5 kids that all have cars, all registered to my address, yeah, we have quite a bit of tolling, so.
I can work with you if you wanted to reduce your threshold.
No, I'm just asking, do many people use that?
Oh, yes, and we work with our customers. If, for example, somebody calls and says $40 is a lot, we work with them on the threshold. So, but it depends on the customer's monthly average use.
But I'm just trying to remember, is that an option or is that, I don't remember signing up for that. So where you have the credit card on file and.
That is an option.
Okay.
So you can either have the credit card on file, or we can do a manual replenishment where you can go in and make a one-time payment, or you can make a cash payment. It depends. So you don't have to be billed automatically.
Okay. Mr. Johnson?
The mics are exactly opposite of ours here. So thank you, Chairman Speak. I want to go back to Director Aiken's question. I don't think it was answered fully. I think the question about cash was with the new Pay Near Me. But just to clarify, if you're an existing customer or if you have you're a violation, you can take care of your payment issue, your violation issue with check or credit card. But this is expanding the set of options, so I didn't want you to think that the only way you can pay is cash.
Through the Pay Near Me service, it's cash for now.
Right,
And then-
and just trying to clarify that is a new service that is cash and has something else. But this idea that you have to pay cash, I just thought it wasn't answered fully, Director Aiken.
So if it's for those that aren't registered customers, maybe they're from out of town and they used it once and then they get something in the mail?
You can still contact our customer service center. You can take care of that with check or credit card. The Pay Near Me is, I would say, a new feature largely for the unbanked, broadening out the issue. But if you were from Oklahoma and drove the 91 express lanes, you don't have to pay cash. You can call and take care of it with cash, check or credit card.
Thank you.
Mr. Berkson?
It wouldn't be right if I didn't say something. So I wanted to touch on a couple things. One, Wes, you were talking about the time, and so was Karen's. And just as a frequent user of the express lanes, what I do is, my iPhone, the app, I check traffic with toll, without toll. It tells me both. So I can tell how many minutes it's going to take before I ever leave. And it's fairly accurate. So there's an option, but I also agree that we need to post it so somebody that doesn't look on their app before can, right.
Yes. And that's my point is that there's 2 points. So that's one, they don't know what they're purchasing, but there is an idea that people see a $20 charge. They think that means that the other lanes are busy and this is the best way. They don't understand that the higher the number, the more congested the lane is. So there's two distinct issues, and there isn't a perception of what you're buying. So I short of, I don't want people looking at their phones while they're doing that. But frankly, you have a lot of other things on your mind, and when you're trying to get home to your family, you should, in your spending. We're seeing the numbers. They're good sized numbers, especially if you're spending $20, $30 a day one way. It adds up pretty quick, for sure.
The other thing I wanted to mention was, so we have, at RCTC, we have another committee that's the Toll Policy Committee that I sit on. We met earlier this week, and Jennifer mentioned at that we have, I believe it's our goal at RCTC is to have traffic travel in the toll lanes at 60 to 65 miles an hour. I believe that's what it is. We're not making that because at the crux, I guess, in the morning, we need to remove about, I think it's 250 vehicles need to come off the road, off the toll lanes. And to be honest, one of the ways we're trying to accomplish that is with this new, which will come to the full commission for a vote. But if we move forward with it, this new technology will hopefully capture images and video minus the facial features. That gets deleted, so it can be reviewed. And if you're not really having three people in your vehicle, some are super obvious. Some with super dark tinted windows may still get away with it, but we hope the bulk is going to get caught. We can then track back and see what other charges they had, I think you mentioned, Jennifer. And so we'll be getting these people with this technology, which hopefully will reduce the total number of people on the road. Because if you're getting it for free and you know there's almost no chance you're going to get a ticket, you're going to continue to do it until somebody stops you and says, hey, enough's enough. And that, I think, is where we're at, the crux, to find a new way, rather than trying to hike the rates up to $30-something. let's get this new technology in. I know a comment was made, and I'll just share it because it was a comment about OCTA. And one of the comments was, we would really love it if we did this as a joint venture, if we could install and share the cost on both sides of the county, both counties. And you know, because it's a very unique situation where we have a separate 3+ lane that you have to drive through if you're claiming 3+. Most of the other ones are just the switchable transponders, which you can go through and just select whatever the number of passengers you have is. So if OCTA wants to reach out with Jennifer or any of us at RCTC to talk about that, or Aaron, of course, we would love to do it jointly if that's possible. But again, that would be an OCTA discussion, but we are going to bring this to the full commission, I think. Jennifer or Aaron, is it going to be at our next meeting? Okay, so it's coming, and you can, get more information from them if you're interested. So that's all the comments I had. Thank you.
Great, thank you. All right, not seeing anyone else. Thank you very much for your presentation. Appreciate it. Okay, on to public comments. Committee will now take comments from the public. Comments are limited to those within the subject matter jurisdiction of the authority. Members of the public who...
Mr. Chair, we have item 9.
Gosh, why we're in a hurry here. Apparently, I got here in a hurry and I haven't slowed down yet. Item number 9, State Route 71 project update. Eric Galloway. See, I miss you, Eric. I needed to hear more from you.
Yes.
Good morning. Delivery Director for RCTC. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Chair and committee members. My name is Eric Galloway. I'm RCTC's Project Delivery Director. And today I'm here to give you an update on State Route 9171 Interchange Construction Project. I will provide a little background on the project and an update on what's been going on for the last 16 or so months. So the State Route 7191 project is a new interchange project that is intended to improve the mobility on State Route 91 and 71. The project is located in the existing connection to SR 71 and extends from Green River Road just past the connection or south of the southbound 71 and to the eastbound 91. The project will replace the loop connector shown in red on the slide. It's a little bit off your screen, I see. Between the eastbound 91 to the northbound 71 with a direct connector, which is shown in orange, the larger loop. This is the portion of the project under construction currently and is the reasons why we have the false work above the 91, which will be coming down over the next few months, as everyone will be happy about. In addition, the project will construct an auxiliary lane, as shown on the eastbound 91, before Green River Road in the 71, and it's shown in light blue. The eastbound 91 Green River on-ramp will also be reconstructed and relocated, and that is shown in dark blue, and it'll go over the BNSF tracks. The project construction contract is $121 million. The contractor is Skanska USA. The project commenced construction on January 31st, 2023, and is currently 52% complete, and we anticipate it to complete in mid-2025. Some of the current ongoing construction activities include the construction of the direct connector superstructure that is spanning across the 91 freeway, which everyone sees and drives under. Construction of the Green River Road off-ramp bridge false work, which is spanning over the BNSF railroad tracks. There is mechanically stabilized earth retaining walls that are going up along the new Green River Road on-ramp. And we're doing construction along the southbound 71 lane reconfiguration. Some of the planned major activities that are upcoming is removal of the false work on the 91, and this is planned to start in July and will progress over 4 weeks. The southbound 71, we're going to plan a traffic shutdown. We will have 55-hour weekend closures on the southbound 71 in mid to late August. This will be to do the lanes shift on the 71, and it should be noted that it will be a 55-hour closure over the weekend. Public notices and outreach for this effort are ongoing and have been developed, and notifications of all parties will happen. The planned detours will be shared with the impacted parties and reviewed by all the affected cities. Now I have some pretty pictures. So this photo is looking northeast with the eastbound 91 on the left side of the photo. This is the new Green River on-ramp to the eastbound 91, and it's seen in the lower right of the photo. The false work is over the BNSF track, as it can be seen in the middle of the photo. This has been very hard to coordinate with BNSF, as they typically are very difficult. But it's been going very well. The contractor has moved very quickly on this.
Very nice way to say it, Mr. Galloway.
Thank you. This next photo, this photo is facing to the northeast of the east, and the eastbound 91 is on the left side of your photo. This shows the mechanically stabilized earth walls, which can be seen to the south of the eastbound 91 and connecting to the abutment for the eastbound 91 to 71 connector bridge. The next photo is facing westward with the eastbound 91 on the left side of the photo. As you can see, Skanska has commenced removal of the formwork, and the concrete deck is as it's being completed, and then we start dropping the false work also. The false work removal over the eastbound 91 will commence, as I said, in July, once the post-tension is complete for the first section or frame of the bridge. The photo also details extensive work adjacent to the 91. I point that out due to a lot of the storm drain work that we're doing right there. The next photo is looking to the north, and this is the westbound 91 at the bottom of the photo. This is the eastbound and northbound 71 connector bridge that is spanning over the Army Corps' Prado Dam spillway. Just to let you know, we had to have special arrangements with the Army Corps to allow the bridge false work to be sitting on the concrete of the spillway, and it can only be there from April to October. So we do have a very limited time frame to get everything done and get it out. Now here is my final photo. This is looking south along the southbound 71 to the left side of the photo, and the proposed connector structure is seen to the right side. Later this summer, the southbound 71 at this location will be shifted to the west, to the right side of the picture, to create the work zone to construct the last abutment for the bridge where it touches down and ties into the northbound 71. This will require 55-hour closures, as I mentioned before. And with that, I am done, but one thing I would like to share with you, if you go to RCTC's website and you go to projects and you go under 91, we do upload aerial videos that we do during our weekly construction meetings. I just talked to Ariel. He said he'll have an updated one probably next week. On a weekly basis during our construction meetings, we do UAV flights of the project, and the contractor and the CM provide that for us during our meetings. And that, I'll have any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Galloway. Any questions from colleagues here? I see none. Thank you very much. I love the drone footage. I think it's just awesome. It shows especially going back and looking at some of the older ones and seeing where they are now. It's really the project is moving along quite nicely. So
Yes.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm doing even numbers now. So public comments, item number 10, the committee will now take comments from the public. Comments are limited to those within subject matter, feels like deja vu, of the authority. Members of the public who have completed a speaker's card will be recognized by the chair and can come forward to address the committee when called. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comments today?
There are none, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, item number 11, that would be the general manager's report. Kirk Avila.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, committee members. I have one item to report, and I'll turn it over to CEO Johnson for a couple other comments. My one item relates to one of the projects that Silva talked about on the next steps, the video wall replacement in our traffic operations center. Those video walls get feeds from cameras along the corridor on the Orange County side as well as the Riverside County side. The cameras on the Orange County side are a little bit dated and are currently in the process of being upgraded and replaced. Testing is going on right now with the fiber. We do anticipate replacing all approximately 40 cameras along the Orange County side of the cameras within the next 6 months. So project should be completed by the end of the calendar year. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to CEO Johnson for a couple comments.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chair Speak. Let me just start by congratulating you being selected chair and Vice Chair Jung, and also welcome our new OCTA members, Directors Tedimer and Aiken. Just wanted to acknowledge for more than 20 years we've been working on this 91 corridor, and a lot of things have improved, a lot of challenges still in front of us, of course. But also for 16 years, we had your Executive Director and Mayor working with us. And while we're sorry to see her go, I just wanted to acknowledge on behalf of the staff, we're very pleased that Erin is here with us. We've already started hitting the ground running from day one and look forward to continuing our partnership, Chair Speak.
Thank you. It's been really a pleasure serving these last few years and seeing how well these agencies work together, because it really is a a dual county and so much of our residents in both counties use this facility. It's better for everybody when we do, and and hope it stays that way. I'm very, very pleased to see how we're going forward. Okay, so total operations report from RCTC side, Jennifer Crossan.
I'll be quick. Good morning. So as you heard earlier, we opened the 1591 connector, which has been a great success in relieving the eastbound traffic and allowing customers to flow within the express lanes from the 91 to the 15, reducing some of the roundabout routes they were taking to get there. We don't have any final data on that, but we are working on that. So real pleased with the impact it's at least had on the 91 express lanes performance and our ability to bring the tolls down, which is quite a relief. Ongoing, we are working on a pavement rehab project for the 91 express lanes. The pavement on the RCTC end and the Riverside County end is reaching its end of life. It was estimated to be 2030, but because of all this construction activity that we're hosting for all the various projects, it's kind of taking quite a beating. It's become a pretty hard maintenance effort. So we're proposing at our next commission meeting formal analysis of the pavement, which would then be followed by a pavement maintenance contractor to come do some partial pavement replacement while we wait for a full pavement replacement, which is scheduled in 2030, which is an additional effort. So we're quite busy trying to maintain these express lanes and provide a safe and reliable commute. Thanks.
Thank you. My colleagues have any comments or questions? I see none. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to, sorry, Aaron, did I skip you? Did you have anything you wanted to add?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to take this opportunity to say hello and introduce myself to the OCTA board members who I haven't had the opportunity to meet yet. Aaron Hake, I'm the new executive director of RCTC. We haven't met since you opened the 405, so I also want to publicly congratulate OCTA on the successful opening of the 405. It's a very big deal. I do want to note that I cut my teeth here at RCTC working on SB 1316, the bill that you heard about earlier that actually reaffirmed the governance of this committee and established the relationship that we all have and enjoy today. So you have my commitment and RCTC's commitment to continue the partnership. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So we'll move on to committee members' reports. This time, open the floor to any of my colleagues that have anything they'd like to share today. I see none. Then we will go to adjournment. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our meeting today. Our next regularly scheduled meeting of the State Route 91 Advisory Committee meeting will be held at 9:30 Thursday, October 31st. Happy Halloween at the OCTA headquarters. Thank you.